Okay, hello Prime Premates peeps. We are here with another member spotlight. Our member of Prime of the Month is Kill 'em in the Face, Bobby Moons. And we are sitting down with Ford Wagon to interview Bobby for this member spotlight. Take it away, Ford.
Thank you, lovely Katie. Hi, everybody, and hello, Mr. Bobby Moons.
Well, hello, Mr. Ford and Katie.
Um, Bobby Moons, that's a very good name for your character because actually it is your name. You are, in fact, Robert Luna.
Tis true.
That's cool. I mean, obviously, I'm not a Ford or wagon, and Katie, of course, I think it's named after your pup.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool that you got your own name, in Warcraft. Speaking of that, though, you're on a different character. How many characters are you playing now, Bobby?
Currently I'm playing my monk is my main. I have a boomkin that's my alt. It's you got beef. He's barely getting started. I try to focus mainly on the monk this one.
That's cool. PvP, PvE. Are there specializations there?
Um, I'm mostly PvP. But whenever the group needs something for PvE, I try to go with it and help out the group. I can hold my own on DPS. So whenever I'm not PvPing and nothing's going on, I try to help out the group.
Absolutely. Let's go back all the way into vanilla. How did you find this game? And tell us about Bobby the Gamer.
um, wow, that was so long ago. I don't even remember. I was not in vanilla. I came late. Lich King, and I actually started playing the game, and the reason that I continued to play the game is because I wanted to get my nephews into the game. And then from there, it just took off.
Yeah, it has some type of a social thing to it that I mean, absolutely has taken over, my life, as well as quite a few others. Um, so starting out with Lich King, first thing that you did, first guild. Tell us about all that leveling.
Well, I was in the guild that was kind of breaking up, and they made me guild master, and it was kind of like a bank guild. But the people that I played with were few. After that, I just started getting into PvP and doing random battleground queues. I wanted to play against other players.
And then the friendships begin to form how? With RBGs or using the in-game team speak, or how did that go?
You know what? I was actually thinking about that today. I was trying to figure out. I guess it was from the battleground instance chat that I found other PvPers that wanted to queue up for another one, and that's where it started. And started getting into. We found pre-made groups. I found a pre-made group and got in with them, and just I loved it at that point.
Okay, so then we get to the point where Hydra rears its many ugly heads.
Yeah, there was
Well, you were an IC3, right?
correct. Yeah,
That's what I
I
would.
was in a Yeah, I found IC3, and that's where I ran into Plebeian and Issa and the rest of the bunch, and I started playing with them, and I was like, I finally found a group that I can run with like that. Before that, I used to run by myself all day long. So when I found a group that wanted to run consistently, I was super excited.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I think we all felt that because we all have this love for the one particular battleground called Alterac Valley. And I ran it solo, oh God, for years, and was just, I couldn't bear all of the losses that we were taking on the Horde side. And then when I found, the Hydra group, that's where I took off.
Absolutely, absolutely. The pre-made community was like a blessing for me because I used to solo. So, I mean, I've been in IC3 Hydra now Prime, and I enjoy it every single day. there may be a point where when I was playing, if I didn't have a group to roam with, that I might have stopped playing.
Yeah, I think so too. It has been the social that's kept me into it. Um, at any rate, let's talk a little bit about this social group. I mean, how about your best memories with? Let's go with let's start with plebs.
Oh man, that would go back to the IC3 days where, like, when he would lead and he would just lead over and over, and then he was like, "Bobby, take it over" at one point, and I was like, "I'm not ready for this." But he had faith, and he was like, "I got you," and that was a huge moment for me. I consider him a mentor.
Yeah, and so many people do. I mean, I've led 3 times. I'm 1, 1, and 1. But you take over on a regular basis, and it's. I have to say this. It's really a pleasure to follow you when you do it because you're a very good leader and nice and calm with that. But that calmness comes out of a personality that we probably would like to know a little bit more about. You're from the land of enchantment, New Mexico, Albuquerque specifically. Little background.
Yeah, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Most of my family is from Texas. Everybody's from Texas. Me and my sister are the only ones from Albuquerque. Um, it can get rough here. So I'd rather, stay inside and play with my online friends and have a good time versus all the nonsense out there.
That's true. Hey, there's also, speaking of Texas, there is a Texas professional boxer, Robert Luna. Are you aware of him?
You know what? I think I Googled my name once and I saw him. But
Yeah.
I don't follow him. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. How about that? Sports, boxing? Any background in that?
The sports boxing, my father loves it. We used to watch it growing up all the time before the UFC and all that. Um, we actually used to go to the flea markets in those days every single weekend and sell stuff. And we ran across some boxing gloves, one with the Mexican flag, one with the U.S. flag, and we bought them and we came home and we boxed each other every day.
Everybody who has even looked at your page on Facebook realizes that you've got a real strong family relationship. Looks like a pretty extended family. Give us a little background.
Well, on that note, I'm the youngest of five. Um, I have a total of, I believe, yeah, 16 nephews and nieces in total. I'm the only
Wow.
one without kids. So yeah, we do have a big family. We all try to help and support each other as best as we can, and that's what family's about.
Is all your family there in New Mexico?
Yeah, we actually, well, not all of them, but my dad actually moved. My auntie, I mean, I can't even count how many people. My father took out of Texas because in Brownsville it's also not the greatest place to be. So he moved us over to New Mexico, and he's been a big support to the family, and everybody's enjoying being here.
I've been through New Mexico a number of times, and of course Albuquerque at that, and I always liked it. I mean, I'm in the middle of a swamp where I am now, but I always liked the Southwest best. Any other places around that tell us about any travel you've done?
I've only done a little bit of travel. I've been to Oklahoma. The one of the best trips that I had was one of my friends here. His father imports light fixtures from Mexico, so we drove from here all the way to LA, stopping off in Bakersfield, Phoenix, and making deliveries. Um, and the California beach was amazing. It was totally different from Brownsville, which is South Padre Island. That's a totally different ball game as far as the ocean goes. So it was good to see different coasts.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing your first trip to California, and you get to the top of that hill that actually goes down into the LA Valley, and it's like, holy cow.
Yes, yes, I remember that. We were, matter of fact, the dude that I went with came by last night, and we were talking about going over the hill and seeing the ocean for the first time, and it was super overwhelming.
Yeah, I think I sat there and just looked at it for like 2 or 3 days. But then again, there's an awful lot to do in New Mexico. Do you get out at all and around? Because one of the things that I find that's fun in the Southwest is you can count on the weather being, at least fairly decent to get outside. You get outside much?
Absolutely, we go every once in a while. We'll go to the bottom of the Sandia Mountains and we'll hike a couple of trails. We'll go to the Bosque and the Rio Grande River, and see if we can just hang out and fish or something like that. The Balloon Fiesta is a huge event. I don't know if you guys are aware that it's an international balloon fiesta, biggest in the world. So that's always a good time.
What is that?
International Balloon
Oh,
Fiesta.
balloon?
Just Google it, and it'll tell you it's the largest balloon fiesta in the entire world.
Okay, that means I get to ask you this. Have you been in one of those balloons?
I have, yes. I got very, very lucky. My father, for the company that he worked for, actually gave him some tickets, and I was super scared, but we went up in the balloon. We were supposed to get a 40-minute ride, and we had to drop and change gas tanks for the fire, so we ended up getting a 2-minute ride, and it was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I've seen pictures of the big balloon launch all my life. Every year they've got bigger and better pictures, and I'm so jealous, man. That sounds like it was really fun.
Yeah, the best part about that one was our pilot was, I don't know, he was brave, I guess, but he took us over the Rio Grande River, and he says, I want to see how close I can get to the bottom and see if I can almost touch the river. And I was like, no. But he gave us maybe 6 inches above the river, and then he just hit the burner, and we went up so fast. It was literally like I could see the world going away from me. I'll never forget that.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing. Let's see here. I guess let's talk a little bit about the future and what you got going. Are you seeing yourself staying in New Mexico, and any prospects for moving, or okay, spit it out, Ford. What's the romantic picture here, Bobby?
Well, as far as leaving New Mexico, I don't know. All my family's here. I don't see myself moving anywhere anytime soon. I wouldn't be me without them. So, the romantic, I'm single as a mug, and I keep it that way.
Yeah, I can relate. Oh, that reminds me, Bobby. I have no idea what your age is, if you don't mind. How old are you?
Yeah, no worries. I'm 35. I am 35 years of age.
Yeah. Once again, we find that Prime is pretty much made up. It's a very adult thing. We've had 1 or 2 kids in there, but it's pretty much a nice social thing of adults. Where would you like to see Prime go?
Just build back to the PvP community to get back to war games would be awesome. If we can get people recruited, if we can get some people inspired to PvP, maybe some PvEers that don't necessarily PvP, if we can convert them, say, hey, we have a good time over here, join the community. As long as we can push the community with on PvP, especially with other communities as well, I think that would be a great moving forward objective.
Well, it seems that we were so close at one point to this whole thing really, going atmospheric, especially when we had some representation for Hydra at the BlizzCon, and then all of a sudden things started going south.
Right. I did get really excited when we had the banner up over there, and I was like, man, we're finally doing it. We're getting there. We did it. It's not the case, but I think we can still build the community.
Oh yeah, obviously. I mean, look what we did for Stormpike Militia, and I don't mind saying this to you guys or to the rest of the Prime community listening in, that I feel responsible that we put them on the map. We goaded them to come and do this, and they took off.
Right. I have a couple of them on my friends list, and we communicate every now and so. And but it's good fun. It's good fun when you have groups that want to get it with each other, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, and I as well have got several good friends over there in Stormpike Militia, and we all started off as trolls, trolling each other in the forums. I mean, almost to the point of seeking personal combat, and now all of a sudden we're great friends, and and look forward to seeing each other.
Yeah, yeah. I know or a little bit about that, I should say. I remember there was at one point in time, Jugga said that Bobby's only made 2 posts on the forum. He's not worthy of the forum. But I
Well,
took
just
it all
because
in
she makes
stride.
two every
Like
minute.
it was not like a bad thing. So
I kind of look back personally on those days where we used to kind of go back and forth with them on the forums in a funny way, in that once you get to know them, like you would Prime members or whatever, it's like completely different. And you like get beyond like the what you've been told thing and actually get to know people and make the assessment of your own, then it's completely different.
absolutely, I would totally agree with that. I've had many conversations in Whisper chat with them, with a couple of them, and they're great people. It's just that's what they choose to do.
Yep.
Well, um, one of the things I felt that kind of slowed all of us down, them, us, competitors, everybody, the whole pre-made scene, is this new expansion. My God, there is so much to do.
Yes, yes, the grind is real for sure. It definitely separated us, and also slowed down our recruitment process. So I mean, you got to roll with the punches as they come.
Well, I mean, I'd like to, bring up a healer, and I have to keep working on this character because it just barely makes the grade. Uh, and speaking of grades, we've got to get the RBG scene going again.
Absolutely, absolutely. We do have a few core members that want to, but it's a little bit of a struggle to organize at the moment.
I think it's because with this expansion, we're forced to do so many other PvE related things that, before you could completely gear in PvP, and that's not really, I mean, you could still do that if you do competitive, but there aren't as many people doing competitive because they're doing more PvE. So I think like this expansion, unlike any other that I've seen, is that you're kind of a lot of people are being derailed into these PvE related activities.
I would 100% agree with that. It definitely has slowed the progress of a PvP player only. You're kind of forced to have to do other stuff.
I think eventually that'll change. I think eventually that'll settle down and then it'll return to where people are doing more PvP. But I think for now, all of these quests and all of this artifact power grind and all of these other things are detracting from it.
Yeah, very much so. To the point that nobody has time to really plan like we used to plan to get a war game together. I mean, Vexy and some of the other guys that really worked hard to put that together, heck, they don't have time to fool with it anymore.
Well, it's not that I mean, we have scheduled a couple of war games, but we don't have the membership right now because a lot of our core PvPers are now raiding, like raiding regularly, and that's their focus right now. I do think that, well, no, I don't know. There's going to be another raid coming out, so I don't know, how that's going to work.
Right. My perspective on that is that it makes it a little bit more difficult to recruit members if we don't have the numbers that we used to. So therefore, we can't just say, "Hey, come join us," and we're only few in numbers.
Yeah.
I would like to see some type of ladder or reward that is in the game, not necessarily just with us, but in the game, to being the best at Alterac Valley. If that were to occur, I think we would get a large influx on both sides.
That yeah, they definitely need to step up the PvP rewards. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, because PvP is something that we love, and obviously there are thousands, hundreds of thousands, yeah, millions that actually like it too. But for some reason, we are back to square one with the challenge of getting all of these people on the same track.
Agreed, agreed. And that's I mean you can only work with what you got from what the devs give to us. So I mean I'm gonna PvP regardless.
Well, that's just it. I mean, the developers seem to be focused on their thing, and I guess we're going to have to focus on our thing. Any thoughts about where we need to go with our focus?
Um Maybe I'm thinking if we do like smaller games and then we can recruit more on like let's say at Arathi Basin or Temple or something like that. We can let them know what our community is about and how we work together, and then bring them into the large scale games after, and then recruit that way. Possibly, that's maybe a possibility.
I think that's a good idea. Katie, you got some input on that?
Yeah, actually, somebody was talking about that yesterday. I don't remember who, but maybe it was Police Robots. That we should maybe do some, mix it up a little bit, like do some smaller, maybe 15 mans and 10 mans, and maybe put a, when the brawl is up every other week, put an event up for the brawl, because that's a lot of fun. But mix it up, give it something else. You know, we will be doing more MOG runs. With the new PvP, new transmog thing coming out. But yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I don't know if you guys know about this. I just barely heard a smidge of it. It was something about death matches in arenas.
So with those are one of the types of brawls that are coming, where they basically are opening up the arena maps to make it like a 10v10 death match.
See, I would jump on that all day.
Yeah, so we could do that. We could, because the brawls are going to change every other week, so it's going to be a new brawl. And so I think next Friday is going to be Gravity Laps, I believe. So I have the Storm Gravity Laps. You know, make an event based around that.
That's an idea. You would be willing to lead in that one, Bob?
I will try. I usually try to get more experience before I try to lead, so that way I can have at least an idea of where we can make our moves, make our strats, how can we make a difference in the battle, how can we switch, which word to switch, which is bad switch, so on and so forth.
True, and our new nemesis now seems to have adopted that very, very well. They've put together a few things that we throughout Cupcake, through IC3, through Hydra, and now Prime, they're coming up with stats and different techniques that we've never seen before.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's I think I mentioned that a couple days ago or weeks or whatever in the chat, and it's like it's gonna be changing, so you have to change your strat. You have to be able to adapt. It's super important.
And that's actually kind of good, because I mean, how long can you run the RAS strat and farm HKs to the graveyard? That had to at one time come, it had to come to an end, and now obviously I think it has, and I think we've actually got ourselves in a good situation here.
Right, right. I would agree. Speaking on that, at the rat strats, at the one point in time after Hydra, where I didn't want to farm HKs at the GYs, I had to totally revamp. How can we still have a fun game, and how can we maneuver around the map to do so without getting the GYs?
Well, I think the war games, I think, showed all of us, what the potential there was, and we had a few people wanting to join us. There are a couple other guilds that have contacted me that want to get in, so I guess maybe that's where we need to go. Start maybe making some guild contacts and working up some war games against them.
Absolutely, absolutely. The network marketing is huge. If we can get the PvP community up, I mean, it'll only go up, in my opinion, to where we can find players that want to do that kind of the content in the game.
That's good. Any ideas on who we should target? Do you have any guild names in particular? Or
I currently don't at the moment.
well, the one that I was thinking of was called Noir. Katie, have you ever heard of them?
I think so. I think you've mentioned them before. I think, or it was on our website or something.
Yeah, and they obviously have done they've gone into the rating format because they're all trying to get geared up. Because what they're afraid of, which we're all afraid of, is that we're going to get into Alterac Valley and go up against another team that is crazy geared with all of this, mythic raid stuff. And the way the game is set up now, they're just going to smoke our sausage.
Well, war games, your gear is equalized. Once they changed it, you don't even need tournament gear. So when you enter a war game, everybody has the same item level, everybody has the same artifact power, everybody has the same everything. So there is no unequal anything in a war game.
In that case, that's what we probably need to trumpet out there.
Well, we
Absolutely,
need
absolutely.
people.
That's actually how I felt when we went up against Alliance Vanguard. I was like, okay, this is like, there's no playing around here. This is it. And man, we practiced for months and months, and we succeeded. It was really good.
Yeah.
So, what are we going to do to top that?
To
Well,
top
I
that,
think,
well, it's gonna take a lot of work for one.
yeah.
We need to buckle up and get in the car seat.
Yeah, first of all, we need an opponent like Alliance Vanguard, and I think you know who I mean.
I do. I believe they're doing very well at the moment.
Okay. Um, any ideas, Bobby, where we should recruit? Should we go to the forum? Should we go outside the forums? What should we do?
Well, the thing that I noticed about that is that we have a lot of talented people in Prime. Some people can network from the forum. Some people can network in BGs. If I mean, just basically hit anything that you can and get all venues accounted for, and then that way we can get as many people as possible that wanna join the cause of the PvP community.
Okay, yeah, that I can't really add anything to that. How about you, Katie?
Um, well, I really think, yes, we have some really good people, but I feel like we're lacking some very core things in order to war game anybody, which is we need more core healers that play with us regularly. We need a designated target caller. We need, people who will lead the war games. We need more people to show up when we do an in-house war game. The last couple we've scheduled, we haven't had enough. So we need people, really, at this point. We need more people.
Absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. And getting out there and spreading the word is it's just the start.
Yep.
Well, it can't be due to lack of bland personalities, because I think this group that we've got, this core group, has got some of the greatest spectrum of personalities I've ever seen.
Well, I was actually going to talk about that. Is that there was a point in time that, actually, matter of fact, there was a couple of point in times where I was like almost about to quit the game, and a couple of events that were rough for me. But I would come back into the chat with the group, and I was like, man, this is why I play, because we have so many amazing people, so many different opinions, so many different comedians, so on and so forth, that I mean, I love it. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm definitely not gonna quit.
Well, of course, it's very, very expensive for groups to get together, like, say, at BlizzCon or something like that. But maybe we need to think about something 6, 9, 12 months away. Hey, how about a meeting in Albuquerque?
Hey, if you come over here, I got barbecue all day. We got plenty of room that we can set you guys up at, or we'll hook you up with a hotel. I got friends. That would be amazing. Like, just a meetup, just to meet with everybody. That would be amazing.
That's something I think we might pursue, and I think you'd be the perfect medium for that, Bobby, because not only geographically you're kind of in the middle of everywhere, you're in a city where it's easy to get to, and once we got there, we wouldn't be pressured and distracted by Hollywood, by the ocean, by da 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 da.
Right, right. So it's definitely like a small town kind of thing, or a small city, I should say. But yeah, and then I can show you guys around, and it'd be awesome.
Okay, so we may have hit on something here. I know Katie would like us all to come to the woods of Portland, but no.
I'm down to go check it out, but
It's beautiful in the summer.
yeah, another thing about the weather here, like if it starts raining, it's gone in like 5 minutes.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's what I liked about California is that if you want to take a nap all day during a beautiful day, you didn't worry about it. Tomorrow's going to be just like it.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think that's something we should really work on. A prime meeting, and it doesn't have to be something quick. We can talk 6, 9, 12 months. Uh, so let's go ahead and put it out there. What is a good time? Fall, winter, when?
Wasn't it hot as balls in the summer there?
It is pretty hot and it's a dry heat. So if you're not used to that, it definitely is going to affect you. Matter of fact, overall, just the elevation, some people may have a hard time breathing, I've found. But I would say end of summer towards fall would be perfect.
Okay, yeah, that's something to look at. You don't want to obviously go against the Christmas season because people want to travel for families and stuff. But if we go into the fall time when it's cooling down and the people in the north are going to have to, face 6 months of snow, this might be a nice little break.
Yeah, definitely it would be a different atmosphere for sure.
Okay, what else you got to add there, Katie?
Well, I would like to ask Bobby, I know that he's been around and he's been running with Pleb and Vixie and some other people for a really long time. And, like, if you see any major differences between IC3, between Hydra, and now Prime, like, do you see any differences? What is missing? What is better? Like, what can you give an assessment?
Well, from the pre-made groups that I've been in, IC3 was good. We had fun, but there wasn't like a seriousness to it, I guess. And then after that, Hydra, we got into it, and it was going great. But the toxicity just killed it. So in the Prime, what I do see and what I do recognize and want to acknowledge is that it's a it's chill. Like everybody's cool. There's no problems, no nonsense, and that's where I want to be. So even though we may not be at the top of the pre-made community, I'm glad that I'm here.
Aw, I'm glad you're here too.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, that's what I look forward to on the Wednesdays and the Fridays. There's no question of what I'm going to be doing during those nights because I want to be with, my Prime people. And we could use more chill people like this. So I think we should kind of go on the note that number one, we need to get our core together. And then number two, we need to get more Prime.
Yeah, the other couple questions I wanted to ask. You lead, obviously everybody knows you lead a lot. And what is like something that you enjoy about leading and something that frustrates you about leading?
Well, right off of the bat, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but like you can maybe hear it in my voice. Is every time I lead, I get so nervous.
Oh, I don't hear that at all.
No, me either.
I talk a big talk, but I'm nervous every time.
Well, you hide it well because I could not tell.
Because I want to make it best for the people that are following me. So if we lose, I feel like I disappointed, but if we win, I feel like I did a good job.
No, actually, Bobby, I mean, and not to just patronize you or anything, but you and Pleb have that in common. You have a particular tone and level of voice that's very calming and it's very consistent, and that's why everybody looks forward. I think actually everybody looks to you second. If Pleb is not there or he seems like he's getting tired, everybody starts looking for Bobby.
Yep.
Yeah, I have noticed that, and I was gonna mention that too. Like couple games ago, I invited somebody and it's like, "What are we doing, Bobby?" And I'm like, "I'm not the one leader, but anybody could lead." But I got a couple of whispers after that, and they're like, "Bobby, lead. We love your lead." And I was like, I didn't realize how many people enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed. So, for myself as well, what do you want to say to the other people who are not leading right now? What encouragement can you give us?
Same thing I try to say like right before the game, if you want to lead, step up. We got your back. I can tell you that. I will do everything possible to give you advice, egg you on, have your back. If I see something on the map, I'm gonna go take care of it. That way you continue where your lead, because the thought process can get difficult when leading. You got a lot of stuff to work with. But if you step up to lead, we all got your back.
And that, I think, is a message out to all Prime members listening to this.
I think everybody, like for me, when I led that game last time, I've been encouraged to lead, but it's very nerve-wracking because people don't want to let their other teammates down, like Bobby said already, which has been the main hesitation. I think that's everybody's hesitation. But like Bobby encouraged me. He said, "I got your back. I got your back." And even if you fuck up, it's not the end of the world. That's the other thing I think people have to remember. It's not the end of the world, right? This is a game. It's not like we lost $1 million in a business or something, like.
Right. We didn't screw up our business deal and then we had to foreclose our house or nothing like that. It's just a
Right.
game.
Right.
We can only get better. And I remember the first time I led, I was more nervous than I am now. And once I got over that hill, then it got easier, of course, just like anything else. And knowing that you have people that are supporting you, don't even worry about it. Step up, try it. If you don't like it, it's okay. If you want to continue, do so.
One of the things that kind of holds me back, though, is now that we don't have the full 30-35, when you can command a force like that, your plans and your strategies obviously could have a better chance of success. But when you're down to like, 2 5-man groups, or you've got 15 players, or you've got 18 players, it makes it a little bit more challenging. What have you noticed in that you would pass on to new leaders?
Pick your battles. Pick your battles. Make sure that your team's together. If you guys want to, do back cap as a group and then let the pugs go, you have to pay attention to what's going on in the field at all times. But if you have your group together, then you guys can succeed on getting the accomplishments that need to be done, and then you can make an advancement towards the win.
Okay, I think we've heard the words from the master now.
Something I wanted to ask you, Bobby, is what are your hobbies outside of the game? Like, tell us a little bit about what you do when you're not playing WoW.
Well, recently I just started reselling online. So that's taken up a lot of my time. Besides that, me and my me and my pops, we have a yard sale every single weekend. We barbecue. I draw. I haven't been doing that lately, but I did that for many years. I need to get back into that. Um, Martial arts used to be a big part of my life until I fell off a building.
You jujitsu?
I did. I got really lucky and studied some Shaolin Kung Fu. I did. I was working at a store and I was talking to a guy about martial arts, and he said that he was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor. And my boss overheard the conversation and he asked it if I wanted to go to training, and I was like, I don't have the money for it. And my boss said that he would pay for the training, and I was like super excited. And then at that point, when I found out, when I got to the training center, it was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with the United States paratroopers. So I feel like super honored to get that opportunity, because that was my main thing at that time. So I was very grateful for that. Yes.
Very nice.
My dog's starting to bark at your dogs.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to get the dogs outside, but hey, Bobby, the dogs will be in the background all the time.
Yeah, right?
Well, yeah, and through all these games that you've been leading, because you've got your mic open quite a lot, when your dog starts barking, mine starts barking too.
Well, those were all my questions. I guess the one thing, we kind of do like a final message maybe. Like, what do you want people to remember or think about or whatever? Like, do you have a final something you wanted to say?
Probably it would be to kill him in the face.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, thank
Well,
you so much, Bobby, for sitting down with us for this interview. I've really enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about you. Everybody really loves you in Prime, and thank you as well, Ford, for doing the interview.
oh, thank you, Katie. If it wasn't for you, we would have bombed.
Oh, no, no, no. You did great. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, and real quick before if I can throw something in, I
Yep.
don't know if you stopped recording or
Nope.
whatever, but I just want to thank everybody. I feel honored. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Okay, thanks, guys.